Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 24. Now, today's episode was good. So like I did with the other episode that I did, the bulk of what I'm going to talk about is going to be at the end. So I'm gonna just go over the stuff that was just like, and then we'll get to the good stuff. So again, before we begin, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. All right, so we start the episode off with Anita, Jessica, and Samantha, but we're gonna get back to that. So we see Martin. He goes to visit Vernon, and he comes there to check up on Vernon and Anita, and Vernon tells Martin that Anita is still out with Jessica and Samantha. And he was just like, oh, okay, well, I knew they were going to be out, but I thought they would have been back by now. But, I'm just coming to check on you. Vernon is just like, I'm good. You don't have to check on me like that. I'm good. I understand it. Um, Martin tells him, me and Naomi were talking, and I realized that I was being selfish for taking your time away from Anita, and he wants to be there for Vernon. And Vernon was just like, he wants to be there for Vernon because taking care of somebody can put a toll on you. And Vernon is just like, this ain't no this isn't taking a toll on me. And it was Anita's choice for me to leave, but it was only for a couple of hours. But I'm still sorry. I'm still, I'm here, and it's not a burden. And taking care of my family is my reason for being. And Martin tells him no one would fault you if you wanted to take a step back. And Vernon's just like, I would fault me. Um, and he tells him that, I need this campaign as much as you need me in it. Anita has her legacy, like her songs, her movies, her, everything that she's done will live on in videotape and recordings and everything. My legacy is you and this campaign and you being who you are and whatnot. And Martin tells him, you have inspired a generation of people. I'm not your only legacy. You have a multitude of people who are inspired by you that are your legacy. So Martin's just like, okay, well, what do you want? Let's talk about the campaign. So they talk about the campaign. Vernon tells him he needs to do more. He needs to triple his going out and meeting with his constituents. And Martin is just like, no, I can't do that because I made a promise to Smitty and the kids that this cycle won't take my time away from them. And when me and Smitty got back together, I made a promise that I will put the family first. So Vernon's just like, all right, I understand it. Cool, that's what you're gonna do. We're here to work with each other. We see yes, we see Nicole. She meets Kyle at the bar. And they're like, she comes in with her little freakum dress or whatever. She looks cute. They go and find a booth, and they're talking and, getting to know each other for a little bit. She says she'll be right back. She leaves to go to the bathroom. Ted and Shanice walk in. Shanice sees Kyle, and she'll just like, oh, let's go say hi. Ted isn't for it, but he goes anyway. They start talking to him. Shanice is just like, I hope that you're not by yourself. And he was just like, no, I'm on a date. And she's just like, oh, well, who's the lucky lady? And Nicole walks up and she's just like, me. And Ted is like shocked because, he's not used to seeing this Nicole or whatever. So they, he and Shanice are, Shanice tells her, you look good in your dress, and Nicole compliments her, is like, you look good as always. Shanice says, okay, well, you guys enjoy your date. She's trying to walk away with Ted, and Ted stops and is just like, how does Carlton feel about this? And he was just like, it's not my place to say. And Nicole was just like, it's not, but what do you want to say? And he says, well, I thought you were dating Carlton. And she was just like, contrary to what you believe, I can tell the truth. And Carlton knows about Kyle and Kyle knows about Carlton. So is there anything else? I was just like, I know that's right, Nicole. So um he was just like, you know what, my bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. And it was just like, exactly, you shouldn't have. You have no room or right to say anything to her about who she's dating when you've slept with two women already. Please go have several seats. Thank you. Bye bye. So before they walk away, Kyle thanks Shanice for introducing them to each other. And Nicole has this big old smile on her face, like, yep, she introduced us. I was just like, oh Lord. So they go and sit down. Shanice and Ted go to the bar, and Ted asked her, like, why didn't you tell me? And she was just like, I thought you said you was over her. Why should I have told you? She needed a date. Carlton couldn't make it, so I wasn't gonna let her go stag. She needed a date, so I set her up with my friend. What's the problem? I thought you were over her. And he was just like, he couldn't say anything. And then she was just like, she says, you've been since we've gotten here, since you've seen her, you can't keep your eyes off of her. So are you really over her? And he was just like, you know what? I am. Let's go. So and they leave, and Kyle and Nicole go, they're at their booth and they're talking, and then they're making out. They actually really just make out with each other. They really barely talk. They talk about a couple of things, but they're making out with each other for the most part. Um, he wants to take it back to his place. Nicole puts the brakes on it, and she's just like, yeah, I may have changed, but I ain't changed everything. And so he's just like, you sure? And she was just like, yeah, I'm sure. If we move this to someplace else, then it's going to be something else. And he was just like, well, I thought that's where we were going. And she was just like, we're not. And he was real pushy. And this was just so awkward because it was just like, I will say, initially when I had seen them at Winterfest, they looked good together. When I seen them when they were in her office and he was giving her the massage, when they were talking and they were getting to know each other, whatever, and he was giving the massage, I was just like, okay, they're kind of cute. This scene turned me all the way off of them. It's just, I just don't see it. It's not cute anymore. It's real cringy. It's just like, I don't know about that. We see Ted and Shanice, they're back in his hotel room, and she's telling him, like, I feel like they start to make out and it's awkward. And she's just like, I feel like you're only wanting to be with me because you see Nicole with somebody else. And this is just like, you're just trying to, I'm like a consolation prize, whatever. He's telling her, no, I want to be with you, da 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 da, all this other stuff. And also in this scene turned me off of them as well. I'm just like, oh, this is so awkward. I want better for my girl now. Cause I be up and down with a lot of couples. For the most part, not really. But with a lot of the couples on this show, I be up and down. It's just like one moment I like them, the next I don't. One moment I do, the next I don't. And in this instance, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling them. I'm not feeling Kyle and Nicole. I'm just not feeling it. It's just not. It's not nothing. It's uh. So they're talking. She's getting ready. She wants to leave, and he's trying to keep her there. And she's just like, I don't want to be a consolation prize, something, something, something. He was just like, you're the one. How do I make it? How do I make you see that you're the one? Da 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 da. As he's talking, she looks over, and then he like turns her face back to him, and she was just like, how do I show you? And she was just like, she walks away from him. She gets some tissue, and then she finds Leslie's underwear, and she was just like, well, if I'm the one, then whose tacky underwear is this? And this is how the episode ends. But we gonna go back to where the juicy and the good part of the episode is. So we see Anita. She's at the club with Jessica and Samantha. So she's with Samantha and Jessica, and she's talking to them about the cotillion. She's telling, she's asking Samantha who's her escort. She needs to come on because we ride around a corner. You need to find an escort because we got to make sure that they are going to be their tux has to be ready. They have to know the dances. They have to know all this stuff. So we need to find you an escort. What's going on with that? Jessica is just like, as long as it's anybody that doesn't start with the N, and Samantha's just like, oh, Nathan is out of the picture. It's not even a thing. And it was just like, okay, so we done with him. Child. So they start talking about it, and Jessica is just like, iffy about it or whatever. She's making little digs, and Anita, basically tells her about it, and she was just like, the first time that I ever went to a cotillion, I met these women that you know uh she met these women that were like, they were so sure of themselves, they knew who they were, and just like they had their head held high, and like just talking it up. And Jessica was just like, well, didn't you resent them because didn't you resent them because you had to scrape to get it out the mud, and they just got it handed to them on a silver platter? And Anita was just like, I she was just like, all I wanted for my girls was to go out into a world where they didn't have to fight for it. And Jessica's still not understanding. So Anita was just like, it's not about owning, it's not about, she said, it's not about going to a prom when you're somebody's date, or being or getting married when you're somebody's husband. It's about you and owning who you are. It's about coming out to the world and saying, you are here, you are beautiful, you are intelligent, you are proud, like that is who you are. She tells them, I watch the girls who what she say? She watched the girls grow up and champion for the causes that they pledged when they first came out, and they're still doing it to this day. So she then asks, she says, Samantha, I know your cause is the free clinic, and it's just like, but she ain't got nothing to do with that cause because Leslie stole it from her. But anyways, so she asks Jessica what her cause is, and Jessica tells her what her cause is, and she was just like, um if you guys accomplish half of what the other Debs did, then you would be proud of yourself. And so Jessica's coming around to it. She's coming around to it, and she says, you know what, I'm going to try. And then she says, who knows, maybe one of you guys will be crowned the platinum Deb. Now, as all of this is happening, everybody is staring at them because, Anita got her hair cut. She's normally with the flowy hair, but now she got her little cute little pixie, and this is a style that I like. So everybody keeps staring at them, and Jessica and Samantha had mentioned it, and Anita was just like, child, whatever. So as they're talking, and Anastasia walks in, and she's talking to some people behind them, and they're staring at them. So she hears Anita talk about them becoming the platinum Deb, and she walks over and she says, none of them would be it because that title belongs to her granddaughter. She has it on lock, and there's nothing that Anita Dupree can say about it. So Nita tells her, she was just like, I've spent this whole evening preaching to these girls about the importance of sisterhood and the cotillion and being a Deb, and you boil it down to a pissing contest about rivalry and who's what. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? So Anastasia tells her she was never a Deb. She was never a Deb. She never wore the gloves, and she never wore the dress. And yet here she is, holding court. And Anita says something to her. And then I forgot what Anita said, but Anastasia was just like, I am Fairmont Crest, born and bred. If you insult me, then you're insulting all of Fairmont Crest. Anita says, oh no, she says, if you insult me, then you're insulting Vernon. And so Anita says, Vernon used his privilege to go into the world and help others. And Anastasia says, and that's where he found you. Baby, when I say these two was going at it, it was so good. But she says, Anastasia says, and that's where he found you, scraping, gyrating, and hustling like a comet. And Anita cuts her off and says, um, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, and triple threat. I don't dabble, I dominate. It was so good. uh um Anna says without Vernon, Anna says without Vernon, Anita, her daughters, her granddaughter, and her granddaughter, and especially her granddaughter, who doesn't have a drop of Dupree blood in them, would be allowed inside the gates, let alone in polite society. I said, oh no. Now this is a classes B if I ever heard. This is who y'all think Cat is, cause golly. Ooh. Oh man, what she go? What she say next? Anita, Anita gets up and like, puts her in her place. Anastasia makes another dig at Samantha, and yeah, Anastasia makes another dig at Samantha, and Anita is just like, if that's how you want to do it, then bring it. And then Anita walks up to her and goes like this. That lady jumps so quick. I was like, oh no. She jumped so quick. Oh man. So then Jessica says, this is why cotillions shouldn't be. Anastasia is why cotillions shouldn't be a thing. And Anita tells her, don't let her deter you from what the real true, like what a real true cotillion is about or whatever. And Jessica says, I'll try or whatever. So Anita says, all right, ladies, let's go. Jessica says, I got my car, so I'll I got my way home. Thank you for having me or whatever. Anita stands up and she gets, she almost faints. She gets dizzy or whatever. And Samantha and Jessica jump up and just like, are you okay? And she's just like, oh, I'm okay. I just need to, splash water on my face and I'll be ready to go or whatever. So she's walking out. And as she's walking out, she walks by Anastasia and licks her up and down and keeps going. I said, oh no. So Jessica and Samantha are worried about Anita, and Samantha was just like, because Jessica was just like, I hope her sparring with Anastasia didn't take too much out of her. And Samantha was just like, no, she's strong, and she my granny's strong. But that was the episode. So the episode again ended with Shanice and Ted, with Shanice showing him the underwear or whatever. But this was a good episode. This is the rivalry that I've been waiting for. I need a family that can rival the Duprees with like true money, like the true classist woman that Anastasia is. That's who I need. I want them to bring in the rest of her family. I want us to find out that she had a crush on Vernon, or they had an arranged marriage and it was supposed to be her and Vernon, but Vernon was just like, yeah, not no, but hell no, and found Anita. And that's why she hates all of them, because she always has something to say about any of the Duprees. I want one of her grandkids to come into town as a guy, and he befriends Kat, and they start a thing up because I don't want Cat with Tomas. And they have the whole, a whole Romeo and Juliet type situation, or have a her great grandkid come in for Samantha. I need some more people She could have another grandson that'll go after Eva, and then I want to see how she really gonna feel when Eva might be in her family. Like, that's what I want. I want some more of that. Like, I want some more rivalry. I want some more men on this show to so that the women aren't fighting over the men. I want the men to be fighting over the women. Like I want somebody who's a thoroughbred to come in and turn Kat's head or to turn Eva's head. Yeah, I want like something like I want some true like rivalry, I want some true rivalry up in here cuz this right here, this is what I need to see. Anita and Leslie was a chop. Anastasia and Anita, that's where we at. That's where it's at. Oh gosh, like Leslie should, if Leslie needs somebody to go after, it should be Nicole. Like that is who she should be. Like that's who's in her league. Her going after Shanice, I guess because Shanice is now dating Ted, so I guess that's where they're going. But even that is just like, God, I guess. But yeah, this was really good. I really liked these scenes. This is where it was at. Like this whole scene right here was where it was at. I really liked it. Um I can't wait. I really hope they bring in like her family members. Like we could even find out that her husband is no longer with us or whatever. So she still has a thing for Vernon and bring in her kids. Like have her have daughters that rival that want to go after um Danny and Nicole because they mama don't like Anita. Like something like that. Like I want to see more of her and her family. Like I want to see that. Um but that was the episode. Again, this was a really good episode. Hopefully this was like because she mentioned her granddaughter. I forgot what she said her granddaughter's name is. She mentioned her granddaughter. I know we have there's they've been mentioning this actress that's gonna start, but we don't know her role. We don't know who she is, who she's gonna be, or who she's related to. So maybe she is because at first we were thinking it was maybe Deanna. Um, see and look at that. I forgot to talk about them. I always forget them. Oh my goodness. So Joey invites Vanessa to her place. She comes over, he makes her a four-course meal. They talk about, his sanctuary and all this other stuff, and she says she's gonna move in, and he's just like, wait, what? And she's just like, yeah, we're gonna, we love each other, we might as well do this. We ain't getting no younger. And I was just like, first of all, when did y'all say y'all love each other? But I found out that they said they loved each other. That just shows how much I don't pay attention to their scenes, because again, I'm so out of touch with their scenes because she is moving so fast and she's falling so hard for this man that got her, that like took her husband out. And I still don't like their relationship because I still will not forget the fact that before your husband passed away, he wanted to go on a vacation with you. He wanted y'all to reconnect. And you told him no, just to turn around and go on a vacation with Joey. And then while you were on said vacation, your husband called you crying to you about wanting to reconnect with you. And Joey made it known that he was there. And then your husband flipped out and you was just like, oh, I feel bad. Maybe, but nah, I'm here with you. I'm going to be with you. I'm going to take off my ring. I'm going to do what it do. And then you find out that he's gone. Because again, Joey planned all of this so that he could take out your husband, and you fell for it, and now y'all are all lovey-dovey. Like it's a no for me. Them, no. I just I love them. I love the actress, I love the actor. They're doing a thing. It's just the story is just Joey. If he doesn't like, I like villains. I know every show needs a villain, but I don't like villains that don't get caught and then they just automatically redeem them without them having to pay for what they did. That's why I don't like Sunny like that. That's why I don't like Carly like that, because they always get their way, and it's like everything that they did doesn't matter. I mean, for Sonny, yeah, for a while, like in the beginning, he got what he was punished or whatever, or whatever, and then they turned him into the leading man, and he ate the show up for years. And it's just like, I don't want that to happen with Joey and Vanessa, because Joey needs to get his. He needs to get found out that, yeah, you the one who made it be known that, I mean, not made it be known, but you the one who did what you had to do to get this man out the picture so you can be with his wife. And it was just like, why did you even have to do all of that? Because you already had his wife, but you didn't like to share. So that's why you did it. And it's just like, we here now, and it's just like, uh, I don't know. But yeah, so that was their scene. Again, I forgot about them. I was like, I paid more attention to the Anita, all of that. Oh, and I forgot another scene. This is terrible. So we see Jan and Mona. This is terrible. This one is all over the place. Anyways, we see Jan and Mona, and Mona is they talking about their bosses. Jan is talking about how she's happy that Vanessa is, doing a thing with Joey or whatever, semi sort, I guess. Mona is not that thrilled about, Nicole with her freakum dress and all this other stuff. And she just doesn't want her to she's going from one extreme to the other extreme, and she just doesn't want her to regret it in the end. Jan is telling her, like, just, she's been living that life. I mean, she's been with Ted for the better half of her life, and he was a scumbag, and he did her dirty and surprised her with a kid and a baby mama, and she feels for Leslie and all this other stuff. And it was just like, Jan can miss me with that Leslie apologist that she is, because Leslie gave it as Leslie did the whole reason why you are friends with Leslie is because she came into town to ruin your good friend's boss's life. Yes, Ted was wrong for cheating on his wife back in the gap with this woman, but Leslie held a grudge for her daughter's entire life and has been holding on to wanting to be with this man for her daughters for almost 20 plus years. And you feel for Leslie? Leslie had 20 plus years to bring her daughter back into her father's life, and she didn't. She decided to wield her daughter as a weapon to go against not even to go against his daddy, but to go against Nicole, because she felt like Nicole stole the life that she should have had. And it was just like, no, ma'am, she didn't. Nicole was going to have that life regardless of if she had Ted or not. And they was already living that life before you even entered the picture. So you was still not going to get that life even after. So miss me with all of that. So anyways, she's telling Mona to be happy for her, and be happy for to be happy for Nicole, because Nicole needs to live her life. She gets a call from Owen, and he says he drove 3 hours just to see her. So she leaves to go and see Owen, and she before she leaves, she tells Mona that she doesn't want her last man to be her last man, and she needs to find her a boo. And I'm with her on that. So Mona, as she's leaving, she runs into Randy and she starts to flirt with him or whatever. Let me see. Did I miss anything else? Because I was, like I said, I was so focused on this scene, like this whole little scene. It was just like, this is what popped it off for me. But yeah, that was the episode. It was really good. Again, I hope they are gonna expand Anastasia's family so we can meet some more of her highfalutin bougie family members. And then we even need, of course they're gonna have the black sheep in the family that ain't highfalutin, that don't want to be like, I don't fool with you. I don't like, I'm a accept your money and all of that, but I'm not like you. I was raised to be like that, but I'm not like that because I went out in the world and I saw that, yeah, nah, it's for the birds. Like, I need those family members to show up. Hopefully they are men. I know we're gonna bring a granddaughter in for the cotillion, but hopefully we bring more men into the family so that we can get some new blood for the women, because I need some new blood for Cat. I need another sparring person for, not a sparring person, but I need another boo for Eva just in case Yolanda shows back up. Maybe she gonna show up pregnant. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something if Yolanda showed up pregnant in 10 months, she come back with a baby? And then Eva's put in the position that she put Nicole in. That would be something. But let me stop. But yes, that was the episode. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you thought about the episode. Let me know if you want some new blood for the girls. I'll see you guys in the next one.